They're not just designs, they're reminders. These are the truths that I needed and still need. This is what Bones in Black is truly about. I've been goth since the 90s, and while I've changed, one thing hasn't changed: how people try to define me. And these shirts are about defying that. If I had listened to everyone's opinion of me in my 20s, who knows who I would have become? But actually, the older I got, the less anyone's opinion really mattered. I admit, I was a bit of a wild child. I craved attention, always trying to stand out. And honestly, a lot of that was a cover. I really didn't want people to see how insecure I really was and how I really felt. So young me would have loved this shirt because even when I was pretending not to care what anybody thought, I guess I really did. But this shirt would have been a nice fuck you, huh? But now I actually am that person that I wished I was when I was younger. I'm not here to impress or seek approval anymore. I'm just here to be myself and to give other people a space to do the same. So that's what this shirt says to me now. Opinions die, but I remain. And not just remain, I evolve and I rise. And I'm gonna make the most out of every part of this wild ride we call life. So let me know if this design speaks to you. Not everyone shines in the spotlight. Some are meant for the shadows. There's moments in my life where my self-confidence has been hanging on by a thread, where I didn't see what it was to make me be me. But sometimes it's in those darkest moments is when we find our spark and the strength to turn it all around. This shirt is for people who have had to rebuild from the ground up, who's learned not to love themselves just because it was easy, but because it was necessary. Because rising from below takes a strength that no one can fake. And that strength and that journey is something to be proud of. And that's where this shirt comes from. Stars are born in the dark, and so am I. Have you ever just felt unseen and also didn't give a fuck? Funny story. When I first started doing street art, back when my husband and I were out hitting the streets in LA, I noticed something. Now this was like in the kind of the early 2010s. I noticed that sometimes when we would talk to other artists, I was feeling a little overlooked. Like when they were talking about guerrilla street art, they really would talk only to my husband. Like as a woman, I wasn't seen as a real street artist. Thankfully, times have changed. There's so many more women out there getting up now, going hard, going guerrilla style. But I still think how often women sometimes feel invisible and are sometimes not seen. And especially as we age, we're made to feel invisible, like our voice doesn't matter anymore. But that's exactly why we have to make ourselves even bigger. If the world doesn't see you, be unseen and unshaken. Keep creating, keep showing up, keep being bold, even when no one's watching or people just don't fully get it. Because that fire and that defiance, that's unshakably you. And that's exactly what this shirt represents. Each of these shirts carries a piece of my story, to pushing through self-doubt and to refusing to disappear as I age. Because aging and being goth isn't about holding on. It's about becoming sharper, more honest, and more fearless. Because at this point, we're less interested in approval and more committed to our own truth. And that's something that we should be showing every generation. So these designs aren't just clothes, they're declarations. They're a reminder of who I've become as well as who I'm still becoming. This is the part where I tell you to buy a shirt. But honestly, if you're still watching, you know this is for you. Check out Bones in Black or don't, I'll still be here and I'll see you on the next one.